Well, I sense that a viewer, much like myself, is waiting for the point at which this Let's Play will descend into farce. I'll make a bold prediction that it is likely to commence from about now.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Here we are. Right. One thing we're going to do is try out this, armor spell. Oh, no we're not, because we're wearing armor. And we'll give the studded leather armor to Alwyn, because it's slightly better armor than what she has got. And I know that leather armor is only worth 1 gold, so I'm not going to bother humping that around. So, Alwyn. Just before I do that, right, so the armor class without the armor is 5. Which is really good because of his dexterity score, so yeah. Let's see what armor does to it. Down to 1, that's excellent. Okay.
As good as done.
You know, if it feels like we're rushing through the game, missing stuff, looking hideously
I'm so tired.
unprepared, well then good. That's kind of the idea, really. Alwyn hasn't really been able to prepare for this, so... Right, minor gourd. More adventurers, eh? I'd leave while you still can if I were you. I've heard awful stories about what's been happening to those that go deeper into the mines. Why, what have you heard? Well, my friend Ruffy, barely escaped with his life, he did. Little demons jumped out of the very walls and chased him down. He'd be dead now if it weren't for the guards that came running. Of course them guards are dead now. Old Rufy's around here somewhere. You ask him what he saw and he'll tell you. The miners talk of evil creatures in the lower levels. Okay, have we got a map here? Not really. Is that Rufy? It is Miner Rufy. Shall we scare ourselves by asking him what perils lay in these mines, or do we... or is ignorance bliss? Let's talk to him.
Leave us be. 'Tis much work to be done.
What do you want? Tell me about the mines. What's been making the miners disappear? Demons. The little devils are everywhere, I tell you. From the walls they're coming. They're going to kill us all. Demons? Oh god. Oh right, there's some searchable stuff here. Ooh. Can we just take that? Longsword and a warhammer. We'll take that. That can be sold. Alwyn uses warhammers as well, so that could be a backup. Contaminated iron. Let's have a little read of that. This iron looks to be coated in some sort of toxic substance. Though just speculation, you wonder if this could be what's been contaminating the iron of the region.
As good as done.
So the iron is covered in a toxic substance which presumably
As good as done.
degrades it. Right, so where the hell do we go? This way, this way, this way? Bit of a dungeon crawl. And are these demons around here? Armenian soldier. Oh, okay, so there are guards around.
Stand away, citizen!
Smelled a kobold the other day and chased him down as far as I dared. Let them have their dank holes if they want. Nothing but a nuisance on their own anyway. Too stupid to be behind what's going on. Okay. So a kobold is... well, I know a kobold is a sort of enemy in this game, so... maybe there are kobolds around.
As you direct.
Right. So I'm... oh. Miner.
Oh, I'm so tired.
Leave us be, there is much work to be done. These miners seem to be just dressed in their kind of underpants. Miner Leslie.
Oh, I'm so tired.
Lots of walls everywhere they are, no room to breathe, no room to breathe. They said they paid excellent wages, they did. Didn't say anything about little holes, did they? No, space is too small, they are. Space is too small. Are you okay? What? Don't you see the walls? Walls everywhere, no room to breathe, no room to breathe. They say, oh, okay, he's just saying the same thing.
I think I'm coughing up blood.
Oh, God. Miner Corey.
I think I'm coughing up blood.
Ugh. What is it you want? Can't you see I'm a busy man? I've heard that there have been problems with the mines recently. I'm here to try to help. I don't know what you can do about it. Sure, there have been problems. The ore that we've been pulling out of this place has been crumbling almost as soon as it's cast. Do you know what's been weakening the ore? If I knew that, we would have fixed it. Well, there's a toxic substance on it, mate. It said on the description. God, this is pretty hellish, isn't it? But I suppose conditions for miners in this...
I think I'm coughing up blood.
Coming towards us. Miner Dink. A visitor. Oh, glorious day. We don't get many down here, as you can imagine. Are you going to be going down into the mines? Oh, right. So we're not in... I guess this is just the first bit of the mines, which isn't the real sort of face of the mine, so to speak. If so, could you return this dagger to Kylie? He dropped it when he went into the mine the other day, and I haven't seen him since. Sure, I'll return his dagger. Thank you so much, I'm sure he'll appreciate it. I am to return a dagger to Kylie, a miner in the lower levels of Nashkell mines. Okay, well that's just a little quest that we've taken on, and Kylie's dagger is there. It's a rather... looks a bit glitchy, that picture, doesn't it, of the dagger? Right.
For the group.
So we're going further into the mines here, but it still looks pretty well serviced. There's... ah! And there is a kobold. Okay. First action, guys. Well, there's only one.
Nature's servant awaits.
So what we'll do is we'll pelt it with ranged
Ye spoke at me?
weaponry.
Something troubling you?
Oh, Zar's only got 17 darts. There's another example of lack of preparedness, but I think we
How
can...
may I be of assistance?
I think we can explain that away by saying that, you know, Alwyn wouldn't have prepared as methodically as he perhaps would have normally done, simply because, you know, he's been
And the rivers
so distracted. That Monstron's just going straight... yeah, okay. Okay, well, a kobold is clearly not a very tough enemy because you get 7 experience points for killing one. And it looks like well, no more than 7 damage.
Sleep lightly.
Takes him out.
taskmaster.
We'll take all that, including the
As you
arrows.
direct.
Okay, that's our first taste of threat, and we came through it. So yeah, we can just explain away Zar's lack of ammo here, just the 16 darts, with the fact that Alwyn has been
As
so
you direct.
in a whirlwind that he hasn't really thought clearly about what the party needs. Oh, okay. We can go down further. Before we do that... Well, I don't know if we can go down further, but there's another bit of the mines anyway. I don't know if we should explore. Ah! Okay, it's another kobold. Oh no, Alwyn's out front. Oh, okay, that's not good.
I have become death, destroyer of worlds.
That is a bit silly of me, really, Alwyn.
This better be good. I'll do your toil.
Getting Alwyn out front like that, the kobold had a ranged weapon and could have got a lucky hit in. That was not sensible. Okay.
As you direct.
I'm going to touch wood here when I say we haven't had a death yet. But you know, there is a first time for everything, and I'm thinking this mine complex might be the time. More contaminated iron. More Armenian soldiers, which is reassuring. Minor Bob.
Leave us be. 'Tis much work to be done.
Hello there, Bob. Finally, someone has come to save us. Well, don't get your hopes up, Bob. Do you know something about what's been happening here? Sure, I know what's happening. What do you want to know? Okay. What about the missing miners? Oh, them. I've told them before they went. Tried to, at least. Naturally, there must be a dragon down there killing them all. Oh, he must be mad about us mining his hill, poor thing. A dragon here? Oh, stop being ridiculous. A dragon's presence is always easy to notice, so I can assure you there are no dragons hiding in the bowels of this mine. I would prescribe a brief walk in the fresh air to clear these delusions. Well, missus, you know better, being an adventurer and all. A dragon in the mines? Inconceivable, says the journal. I think Alwyn is probably prepared to believe anything at this stage. Okay, we just noted that down in our journal. Right. Well, I think... I don't really want to miss anything, but this dungeon crawling is a little bit dangerous because you get little situations like this where we've got Zar right out in front with his 4 hit points. So while we're in this seemingly rather more secure area, I think it would be better, when we go into the mines a bit more, I think it would be better to be a bit more careful about the way we position our party. What? Oh, it's just another fool here to save us. Go ahead, try and rid the mines of all their evil and get yourself killed like the last couple. Last couple? What? Adventurers, you idiot. You think you're the first to try and save us all? Not likely. Not going to be the last, I'll wager, either. Oh, God. There you go, Alwyn. There's another confidence booster for you. Right. I mean, Alwyn's caught in the vortex here. He's unable to really get out of it because he's just not strong enough at the moment to make a purposeful decision, and in any case he's not really able to scrutinise the direction that's being laid out
gather your
before.
party before venturing forth.
But anyway, here we go. When is it acceptable to turn and run, I wonder?
As you direct.
Oh, now? Mine are Beldin. Okay. Don't know what to do. They're coming, the yipping demons, they're everywhere, save me! What would Jaheira say? I think she'd say, "Don't be foolish, I've never heard of a yipping demon." But there they are, there they... Oh no. Right, pause. Whoop. Oh, it paused and then I unpaused it. Okay, no. 4 kobolds. Monteron, I'm going to move you further forward and you're going to be my main shutter downerer. So he's going to go, and the theory being, if they're firing arrows, they won't fire arrows if they've got a guy right in their face.
Can I help you?
Khalid and Jaheira. Oh, could we do I could do an entangle, but
Yes, oh omnipresent authority figure.
from the hobgoblin battle earlier, I think they can still just use their. I think we'll get a magic missile though. They can still just use their
What is it this
ranged
time?
weapons anyway. Alwyn, we could use a command. We could use a magic missile. Well, let's just see how this goes, because the last 2 kobolds, frankly, were not that difficult. So let's go.
I fear I need healing, lest I not survive.
Oh my gosh. Jaheira is down to 3 health. Right. I'm assuming the game just pauses at this point while I'm doing all this. Jaheira, drink a potion. Go on, Zara. Now get back, Loon.
I could do no other. And the rivers run red!
Goodness me.
And the rivers run red!
Oh, well done, Monteron. Brilliant. Okay, let's get all that stuff. Well, that was dangerous. Jaheira went down to 3 hit points there from 4 kobolds.
As you direct.
I was worried I'd just paused it and there was going to be another arrow that would just sort of finish her off, but that is a timely reminder of the danger, and obviously we're now in a bit of the mines, which is going to be a lot harder. Even the little ambient sounds are making me want to just pause and... Right.
You're a queer fellow.
Immerwin, hide in
This way.
shadows. This is a perfect idea. Okay. Well, she sighted them, but they won't have seen me. So let's just see. So there's 2 there. Okay, I think we can take these. I'm going to get Immerwin here because... Monteron, you just fly in, mate. And you 4. Let Monteron get ahead. Right, now you 4 ranged. There's this thing called backstabbing.
Mutton mongering riffraff.
Quick, guys. Help Monteron. Okay. Now, everyone,
You've a task?
Get rid of the loot and thing.
As
Everyone,
you direct.
attack that guy and Alwyn. Try and backstab.
And the rivers run red!
Oh yes. Alwyn did backstab. That's useful, isn't it? So, what that is where your
As good as
battle
done.
music, away with you please. Right, so when you hide in shadows with your thief character, in this case Alwyn, you can then go behind the chosen enemy and stab them in the back basically, and you get double damage. So Alwyn hit presumably for 6 and then did 12 damage, so it was an instant kill. Now that is a nice little tool, isn't it? Alright. When she successfully hides in
Nature's
shadows.
servant awaits. As you direct.
Oh right, we need to heal Monty. I think Monty is Monteron is our most lethal character. We go on his stats. He's got 36% of total kills in the party. Jaheira 9%, Kali 27%, Alwyn 18%, Zar 42% in the whole game. Zara's only got 3%, Alwyn 7%, so Zar really is our least
As
effective
good as done.
killing machine. Miner. I don't propose to talk to too many more miners. Actually, I will have a little word with, because these guys are in the danger zone, aren't
Oh, I'm so tired.
they? Emerson says we got a problem with mongrel dogs below, but I ain't never seen no dog with a sword. I swear it's true, but they keep me quiet. I swear the folly of these frightened miners exasperates me to no end. Who could be so dim-witted as to not recognize a common kobold? See? A kobold! And they keep me quiet. Okay,
Yes,
so
for the group.
these yipping demons are kobolds. Jaheira's kind of dismissing them somewhat there, despite the fact that they nearly killed her. So we do need to be careful. More contaminated iron.
You've a task as good as
The
done.
miners are off. I think we'll follow their lead. Alwyn,
What you want?
can you do another hide in shadows? No. Someone's footsteps are around. Is it one of
Good
those
as done.
miners? Little pools of water around. These miners seem to be going this way, but... Oh, okay. More... Oh, right, okay, we're into a... Oh, okay, and we've got guards? Yeah, Armenian soldiers. And things to loot. You know, in the last part, looking back, you know, with the conversation that Alwyn had about, we'll take all these weapons because they'll be useful for sale. The conversation Alwyn had about the assassins with Alwyn. You know, I think we might be on a journey to some sort of realization.
So dark down here.
Oh, Miner Kylie, we need to give him the sword.
So dark down here.
You have my dagger, thank you so much. I was getting nervous down here being unarmed, with all the things going on. What do you know about the happenings of the mine? Kobolds. They're overrunning the place, piece by piece. We used to see them occasionally, but now you can't go more than a few feet without kicking one of them on the lower levels. It's not so bad up here with the guards around. Still, I wouldn't get caught in the dark if I were you. Sorry, I just had to, well, go to bed actually, and now it's a different day to what it was for you about 2 seconds ago. But watch now as I seamlessly paper over that crack so that you wouldn't even know.
How may I be of assistance?
Right, who's this guy? Alwyn. Yes, anyway, as I was saying, before I got distracted by other things, you can tell I'm not papering over the cracks very well here by just simply kind of...
There are so many places I would rather be.
looting things that I'm sure a few days ago I probably did loot, but I do recall that I was talking about the fact that there were these assassins, and Alwyn had kind of freaked Imwyn out really by saying that they were everywhere, and his portentous language on the fact that you know, that death stalks them. So poor old Imwyn with her chipper mean, scrappy-do attitude, that Lemmy Adam personality has been, well, it's showing its first sign of cracks, I suppose, thanks to Alwyn's relentless anxiety and, you know, Imwyn's initial naivety and excitement has given way to something more nervy, perhaps. Which is sort of a shame, really. But, well, that's what journeying with Alwyn does for you. And, whoop. Okay. We're back into the action. Monteron. Close them down. Everyone else.
You spoke at me?
Ranged weapons.
My blade will cut you down to size.
That includes you, Imwyn.
My blade will cut you down to size.
I'm sorry for the loud sniffing there. I'll try and avoid that in the future. Right.
Sleep lightly.
Oh, I never felt so comfortable as when I'm at least 6 feet under.
Nature's
Quite
servant
hear
awaits.
Tsar there over the intrusive battle music. He said, I'm never quite so comfortable as when I'm at least 6 feet under. Well, remember that Tsar is a necromancer, so... Imwyn's hide in shadows is not really working very well at the moment, but
Good as done.
never mind. Let's have a little explore up here. Now, just to remind you, these are iron mines, and there is an iron shortage, and there's an iron shortage for reasons unknown. Tsar and Monteron and Khalid and Jaheira both kind of independently of each other wanted to explore these mines, and so here we are. I mean, the mining of iron obviously still goes on today, and most of it is goes into making steel. And even now it's sort of still considered almost as important as oil to the global economy. I guess because steel is so ubiquitous, I guess, in so many things, and so you can quite believe that if there is an iron shortage, or the makeup of the iron, or the quality of the iron isn't as good as it was, would really have a detrimental impact on a society. And the game's done a fair job of... Ooh! Someone's yelling and screaming. Does that mean enemies are close by? I bet it does.
You're
Right,
a
Imwyn.
queer fellow.
Oh, for God. What kind of thief are you? You'd think in the mines... Oh, I bet there's kobolds up there.
This better be good.
Monteron, poke your head around.
I'll do your toil.
Huh? Okay.
Yes, as good as done.
Oh, yes, okay. Go, go, go. Ooh, there's quite a lot.
You've a task?
Let's give them a right thrash.
What you want?
Take them out, guys.
Destroyer of worlds! I am become death, destroyer of worlds!
For the group.
Zar's little battle cry about I am become death is isn't that what Oppenheimer said during the Manhattan Project? You know, to create the nuclear bomb. You know, which must have been an interesting project to have worked on, to say the least. You know, I wonder when he got home from a busy day at the lab.
With feet like rabbits, 'tis true, I swear.
You know, a hard day at the lab developing the bomb, whether, you know, his wife said, "Oh, did you have a nice day at work, dear?" "Oh, yeah, yeah, really good. Yeah, we made really good progress with that weapon that's going to wipe out, has the potential to wipe out all of humanity. Yeah, it's going really well."
As you direct.
God, what a thing to have worked on, eh? Right, so let's have a look at the map. And actually, having looked up that quote fairly recently, I don't think he came up with that. You know, I am become death. I think that's from some sort of Sanskrit script or something. That particular line, which he sort of borrowed for, I guess, more than appropriately for that particular project. Also, the Manhattan Project has got a certain classiness to it, I think. You know, I mean, Manhattan has got a glamour to it. It seems a sort of curious name for a nuclear bomb to be called the Manhattan Project. You know, it sounds like it could be some kind of laid-back jazz band or something.
Dungeons. The dark be nice, but blast this damp.
It's not a dungeon, Monteron, it's a mine. A mine. But he doesn't like the damp. Okay. Let's have a look down here. Ooh, a little storeroom. Armenian soldier. Can we get in there?
If I must.
Yes. We'll take your weapons, good soldier.
As good as done.
That's a dead end. Okay, round we go. Oh. Was this an unfortunate miner, or perhaps an adventurer that had ventured down and come a cropper? Okay. More kobolds. Go, 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 Monteron. Close them down.
My blade will cut you down to size.
Ye spoke idle, do your toil.
And become death, destroyer of worlds!
As you direct.
Okay.
As good as done.
I can, but try.
Well, we're getting quite a lot of loot out of this, and I must say, the kobolds
As you direct.
in general aren't too much of a challenge. But it just depends on how many we have to go through. What is in there?
I'll do your toil.
Take your head in, Monteron. Oh, another storeroom. A halberd. Halberd.
Go suck your blade.
I shall attend to it in a trice.
A halberd. By far the oldest and most often used polearm, the halberd consists of a cleaver-like axe blade mounted on a staff, averaging 6 feet in length. The axe blade is balanced at the rear with a fluke and surmounted by a sharp spike, usually of quadrangular design. The fluke is sometimes replaced by a hook used to dismount cavalry. It's best described as a cross between a spear and an axe. Okay, so now I know. And if you already knew, then that was probably a tedious 30 seconds.
As you direct.
Okay, more dead bodies.
You are amusing, in a what the hell is wrong with you kind of way.
You live longer if you don't annoy me. Mayhaps even a week or more.
Disharmony in the party once again. I like the way Jaheira actually did turn to Monteron there to deliver her line. I'm not sure who I'd fancy in a fight between those two, to be honest. Probably Jaheira, to be honest. Okay. Go, Monteron. Ooh.
This better be good.
Oh, dead bodies on the... Right, we better give Monteron some additional support. Let's have a Larlock's Minor Drain. And Alwyn, we can use your special ability, Minor Drain. Actually, we'll just hold fire on that because we might waste a spell doing that. Oh! He's dead, isn't he? Yes. Oh dear. Okay, let me just have a sip of drink. A bit of milk, actually. Just call me a milk drinker. Right. Okay.
What is it this time?
I will use the Minor Drain now. I can't remember what Tsar was. Right. Yeah, I will use the Minor Drain because that will give Alwyn a bit of a hit point boost, which we might need. 2 kobolds. Tsar, you use a Minor Drain on that one. Imowen. I think we just need to take these guys out and Khalid, you go in. Jaheira, you go in.
Oh,
I never loved you.
So, okay. Let's just let this music die down and just take a moment, I think. Right.
Yep.
Now, Imowen, please. No. Okay.
If I must.
Oh, I was thinking, God, these kobolds are wearing leather armour, but that's Monteron's gear. We need that. We need the bow. We'll have that scroll. No, we won't. That's Alwyn then. These bows and arrows are worth a bit of money. Oh boy, that's our first death, people. Which is a bummer, to be honest. And I think...
I could do no other.
You have need of me?
What? This is Khalid? What? Oh, Imowen, I wish you wouldn't do that. Just practicing my sneaking up on people. Didn't mean to scare you. Well, you didn't quite. Hey, come on, how am I going to improve if I don't practice? I'd say you have the basics down very well. Next time, warn me what you are up to. That will make a real test for your abilities. Yep, you're on. Oh, well, that's a very pleasant to and fro between Imowen and Khalid there. Jaheira. Get this other stuff. Oh, she's full now. Who else?
I'll do my best.
Oops. Yeah, Callie's got some inventory space. Yeah, I'm going to get onto what all this means now.
I can but try.
I was probably a bit too cavalier with Monteron there. Perhaps, to be honest though, even if I'd have pulled him out of that fight, he may have just got copped with some arrows on his retreat. So I just want to scroll up because Zar said something. Zar cried out, "Monteron, I never loved you." I didn't quite hear the first bit, so I'm not quite sure what that means. But Zar is not, presumably, that worried by Monteron's death. However, I think Alwyn has been rather shaken by that, even though Zar was by far the most disturbing member of the group for all sorts of reasons. You know, I think he thought Monteron would take a rusty blade to Alwyn's throat in the middle of the night and run off with all the party loot. Of which we don't have a lot, but yeah, it's 256 gold. We're doing okay. But that will have shaken Alwyn, no doubt about it. And I think he's going to say, we need to go back. He doesn't want to risk the lives of certainly Imowen or Khalid and Jaheira. And I think he's just going to say to them, let's get out. We need to get out. Let's just go. This is too much. And we need to go back and recuperate. Zar has only got 4 darts. I can only really see... I think Alwyn can only really see peril. I think Jaheira will probably be saying, okay, well, we'll go back. We will recuperate and we will return. And that isn't something that Alwyn would be particularly happy about. Sorry guys, I've gone completely the wrong way there. That is something that Alwyn would not be happy about, and is something that Alwyn's going to have to deal with, I suppose. He doesn't want to be in here. We've lost Monteron. Cut down by these kobolds who, while not strong enemies, you know, if you meet enough of them, eventually you're going to, you know, cop a few lucky shots, and you know, that could have easily been Alwyn or Imowen or Khalid or Jaheira, and that's not a risk that Alwyn is really prepared to take now.
As good as done.
I think Jaheira, would she have carried on Jaheira? I think she probably would, and I think Alwyn has probably, with all his meagre powers of persuasion, has just about convinced Jaheira that they need to leave. Imowen would have probably backed Alwyn up, Khalid being the kind of more of nervous disposition, would have probably agreed with Alwyn. Probably wouldn't have gone against his wife, to be fair, but maybe he'd have lended some sort of support in a way. Zar, I don't necessarily think would have cared too much. He clearly isn't that bothered by Monteron's death. I'm personally not that bothered about Monteron's death. Alwyn doesn't like Monteron, but is disturbed by the fact that he has been cut down. Dead. He's actually a very dead, as it says at the top of his biography there. What we can do actually is just have a quick chat, and I think we're going to have a quick word with Khalid. In fact, we're going to have a quick word with Jaheira.
I shall attend to it in a trice.
Jaheira fell behind the party for a moment, examining a peculiar plant. She ends up putting it back into her medicinal bag, and now she is about to catch up with the rest of the group. Perhaps it would be wise to take advantage of the situation and trade a couple of words in private. I think this one. You talk about Jaheira's problems and hopes in a friendly and kind manner, in hopes of making Jaheira confide in you. I am sorry, but I see that someone else is in need of my attentions. Well, Alwyn given the cold shoulder by Jaheira there. I think he just wants to kind of find out what Jaheira's motivations are, because they're clearly not the same as Alwyn's. Let's have a quick word with Khalid. You find a moment with Khalid away from everyone else. Perhaps it would be wise to take advantage of the situation and ask a few personal questions. Khalid is usually too shy to talk of himself in public. It's been quite a journey so far, Khalid. How do you think things are going? I did to doubt anything I might say would be heard, Alwyn. Oh, it's like getting blood out of a stone with those two, isn't it? Goodness me. Right. I think that was some leather armour.
Gather your party before venturing forth.
And we're back out. Right, I'm going to stop the recording here because you don't really need to see me travel back to Nashkell. So what I'm going to do is... yeah, I'm going to stop the recording here, go back to Nashkell. I'll see you again at Nashkell, and probably once I've sold a lot of the stuff which I've looted. Okay? Bye for now. And you're back in the room. I sort of said, you know, bye for now, as if, you know, there was going to be some sort of gap, but of course there isn't. I mean, you're right back with me. So anyway, I've sold everything that I looted, and
I've done had enough of this.
It probably came to about 80 gold or so, and I've bought some more ammo. I've bought Khalid a bastard sword because that's what he's proficient in, and that really is about it at the moment. What I didn't sort of notice was that Jaheira had levelled up, so we're going to do that process now. And here we go. Here's the level up screen. Proficiency slots nil, so she can't become more proficient in any of these particular weapons. So this is what happens when we level up. So she's leveled up in her priest ability. She's a multi-class fighter druid. So it's the druid that's leveled up. She's got one extra priest spell. Sorry, the Thaco, and that's to hit armor class at 0. Oh, you're going to have to look it up, to be honest. I sort of know what it means. Maybe when there's more time I'll explain it. Perhaps on a journey somewhere we'll have a thoroughly good and interesting conversation on Thaco. But additional priest spells, 1, which is okay. But additional hit points gained 9, and law increased by 1. So, Jaheira's hit points now stand at 21. Which seems... Oh, sorry, she's gone up in... My apologies, she's gone up in Fighter and Druid. Sometimes they kind of level up at different times. I mean, here you can see Fighter levels up at 4,000 and Druid levels up at 4,000, but with Alwyn, his Cleric levels up at 1,500 and Illusionist levels up at 2,500. So, in this case, Jaheira's had a double level up, if you like. Now, the kind of amount of hit points that you get varies depending on a dice roll, basically. I think that's probably quite good, 9 hit points. That's not bad. And 21 hit points now makes Jaheira by far the most robust member of the party.
I'm gone.
We're going to rest now. And Alwyn is going to memorise Identify, because we have, from that previous assassin, a helmet which we haven't had identified. And we need, I believe, a spell to identify that. We don't just know what this thing is. Or apparently we do. This is the Helm of Infravision, the Eyes of Truth. Being a scavenger of a sort, Babette Maelstrom had this helm created to aid her in her dungeon excursions. She would later attribute her gathered wealth solely to its power, though likely it was much her keen eyes as anything. So this is a magical helm that allows infravision up to 120 feet and protects against critical hits. Well, a helmet protects against critical hits, whether it's magical or not. Infravision... Okay. That's not a great ability, to be honest. So we may well sell that, but...
I'm gone.
Right. So why Alwyn can actually just identify that is quite nice, because it sort of fits nicely within his sort of personality. He is extremely well read and very intelligent and all the rest of it, and has spent a life in Candlekeep, yada yada yada. But it's really nice actually that he's just able to know what that is. Most characters wouldn't. And it's down to something called Law, which for Alwyn stands at 22, which is quite high for a level 1 character. So, Zar, for example's Law is 15. Jaheira is just 2. Khalid is 4. Imoen 10. Basically, your law is based on... right, I don't know if I'm going to get this quite right, but based on wisdom and possibly intelligence as well, law. And because Alwyn's stats are so high, his law skill is very, very good already at level 1, so he's just straight up managed to identify that, whereas for most characters you would need to identify using a spell, as in here, or via a shop they can identify. Is it a shop? Yeah, I think a shop can identify some things, or maybe churches can identify things. I can't remember really, but...
Gorion would have none of this. 'Tis shameful.
Right. What we're going to do now is have a few drinks. A Shadow Dark Ale for Imoen. A Shadow Dark Ale for Khalid. Bitter Black Ale. Oh, that arrogant bastard. You hear about the mayor of Beragos? Keldath came down here and told us we better stop shipping such bad iron. As if we can do anything about it. Oh dear, the mayor of Beragos sort of annoying the locals. God, that would annoy them, wouldn't it? Just coming in there with that comment. Especially when they're under so much pressure because of this mine situation. We'll give Tsar a stout. I'm sure he'd like a blood wine, but it's 8 gold, Tsar, so, you know, you'll have to wait until we're wealthy. Alwyn is going to have a lot of booze. And he's going to start with a mead. Another Volo room, which I think we've already had. And a bit of black ale. And another bit of black ale. And a shadow dark ale. And Alwyn is now intoxicated. And we're just going to bed now. But before we go to bed,
This way.
Alwyn is going to have a little chat with Khalid and Jaheira. Night all. Welcome back. The morning after the night before. And we are just a threesome.
This way.
Imoen,
I will show you
Tsar,
justice.
and Alwyn. Why, you may ask? Well, to find out, you'll have to wait for Chapter 2. Thanks very much.